So what does a play and Don's mom have to do with the work he's been doing in life as of late? We'll find out coming up next.
Welcome to the Dawn and Steve Plus podcast, fueled by Raphael's Roastery and supported by you. Connect to us on socials or dawnandsteveplus.com.
Well, it feels like it has been forever.
It has been forever.
Sat in the studio here.
Yes.
And it feels in part, even though it's not been that long, it's been forever because there has been so much going on in your life as of late.
Do you find that so interesting? Like when your days are so busy, it feels like it's been 5 days and it's only been 48 hours.
Right. Or you go through like this super intense, super busy time and time has flown by.
Yep.
Because you are so busy. You're like, oh man, where'd the day go?
Mm-hmm.
But then you get on the other side of a couple days like that and you're like, I feel like I've just lived a month in the past 3 days.
Yes, yeah. Pretty much.
You've kind of had a season like that, haven't you?
It has been. You remember Mark Twain was credited with saying that, if I can say his name, Mark Twain.
I personally don't remember him very well.
No?
I mean, I just missed the living with him. But
in 1897,
yeah,
you don't get it?
Just missed it.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Well, he was given credit for saying something like, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Yeah.
That's actually a misquote. It's close.
Okay.
But the quote was the report of my death was an exaggeration.
Okay.
Not rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated, but the report of my death was an exaggeration. And I feel that way when we released a podcast not super long ago about my mom and losing a parent. Part of all of the things going on is always being concerned about my mom.
Yeah. Who is still with us.
She is still with us.
At the point we're recording this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel this. And like one of my friends said, okay, Mama Roberta, life number 25. Yeah. Truly, I got a call a week ago that said, hey, her O2 rate is 80. 80. And we cannot.
What does that mean?
That means that.
I'm assuming that's bad.
It's bad.
80 is a bad number?
Really bad. 100 is really good.
B
no,
in
sir.
School.
No, not in oxygen levels.
Okay.
No. That's failing grade in oxygen.
Oh, okay.
And they couldn't, rouse her. So they got her to a place where they can care for her. And it's a place she'd already been once before. And she rallied. Well, she rallied again. And I just spent a couple of days with her. I got home last night.
She's got more lives than a cat.
Dude, I'm telling you, we had the best couple of days. Not that, because she has dementia, Alzheimer's, something. And not that she made sense as we talked, but still,
she was engaged.
Talk. Yes. Yeah. And that's been a while since we've been able to have conversations like that, like just an ongoing. So that's been sweet these last couple of days. That happened on the day before opening night for the play that I was in.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
During Tech Week, this is going down.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about like absolute stressor chaos. Mental headspace already.
Lord.
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do? And that was just my constant prayer. And I go to this stretching class on Thursdays, and I just had gotten the news right before I went to this class. And for the first 5, it's supposed to be quiet, and you're supposed to be able to like just let life go for an hour. You can pray while you're doing all this, whatever. But I'm praying. But I'm sitting there, and for the first 5 minutes of the class, I'm like on my phone. I don't even usually take it into the studio. I leave it. But this was how important it was to stay in touch with the family. We didn't know what was happening. Was Mom tanking right then? And so I finally lay it down. I get through the class, and I had decided that the Lord was giving me this window of opportunity that after a rehearsal that night, which would probably be about 10 o'clock finish, 10 or 11, go ahead and drive to Kentucky 4 hours, see Mom, spend a few hours, and then get back for opening night. That was what brought me peace.
Okay. Not much sleep, but peace.
Peace.
Okay.
I go home and I tell Ben, and he's like, whatever you want to do, I'll go with you. Okay. That night after rehearsal, I call where Mom is, and Mom's sitting at the nurse's station. Now, it's midnight her time.
Okay.
And she gets on the phone, and she's like, hey, kiddo, How you
Mom's
doing, Mom?
rallied again.
She's rallied again. So then I decide, okay, we're not going. It's just too much. If she's sitting at the nurse's station, she would end up sleeping 3 hours that night, which means that we would have gotten there and she would have gotten up.
Yeah.
And then we would have gotten no rest at all to try to get back for opening night. I was so thankful that the Lord showed me it's okay. Stay in Tennessee.
Yeah.
We've had several things during the production of this show that has happened like that, where I've had to say, Lord, I just know you're settling in my heart that I'm to stay put right now. And that's really hard as a daughter to not go. And it didn't make a whole lot of human sense. And then you've got family and all the things. But in hindsight, there's so much clarity now.
It was good that you didn't go.
It was good that we did not go. And and I had kept saying to the Lord, if you would sustain her through this show or take her home before, but if she's still with us, then I'll be on the road the day after the show closes, which is what happened. And I spent a couple of days with her, and we just had the best time. And even her little quirky, because she can't keep track of her own thoughts, were hilarious because she's just super funny. One of the things, my mom was a smoker for years.
Okay.
And but my grandpa and grandma, oh no, her parents.
Yeah.
No. So at one point yesterday, she said something about, did you ever smoke? I said, no, ma'am. She said, oh, well, I think Dad did. And I know my grandpa, and I'm like, that never happened.
That never happened? Yeah.
And she said, Mom probably had 2 or 3, because she talks about her parents a lot.
Okay.
She said, I'm trying to kick the habit, but I'm just having a hard time. Now, Steve, she has not picked up a cigarette.
Your mom's not smoked for like 4 or 5 years now,
Almost
right?
4 years.
Okay.
Come November, it'll be 4 years. And I was just like, I just sat there. She had me in stitches most of the day. So, yes, whatever Mark Twain did say, something along the lines of rumors of her death. And I've had several people reach out after they heard that podcast and say, what? And I'm like, it's a day-to-day thing. I don't know what to say. I appreciate your prayers, and especially for my mom and my family. It's difficult being this far away.
Every time a text from you pops up, whether it's a direct text or it's in a group chain or whatever, I'm like, is this the text that I've got to go to Kentucky? Is this the text that this is happening, or is this just business as usual kind of text? And like, well, I'm glad that so far we're getting business as usual kind of texts.
Well, and I would have told y'all last week about all the things going on, but I knew you were out of town working, and I knew Susie was holding down the fort, and I knew y'all were praying anyway, so I was just like, but prayer was so integral, because one of the things, so that happened on a Thursday. On Wednesday morning of Tech Week, I woke up in absolute fear. Steve, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Fear. And I'm laying there thinking,
for any particular reason?
It was the play.
Okay.
Now, you understand, I don't do a ton of theater. I would love to do more because it's so good for my brain and it challenges me in so many ways. And that was part of this process. But on Wednesday morning, I woke up and just laying there going, okay, Lord, what do I do with this? And I could sense him saying, I want you to get prayer cover. Because fear is of the enemy.
Yeah.
And this is a spiritual battle. And in the past, I would have thought, oh, but you're sovereign. You've got this. You're going to work. I don't need to talk to people about it. It's not, let's just you and me work this out. But he was really clear in my heart about get prayer cover. And I obeyed. And I reached out to some girlfriends and said, hey, here's what is going on. I just need some cover this morning. And a couple of things came to my mind. And one of them was in Proverbs 2-4. I was sitting in that on that morning, or a couple of days before. And then the other one was Mark chapter 9. And it's not that as a believer you can be possessed by an evil spirit, but you can certainly be oppressed. And I felt like the Lord was reminding me of Mark chapter 9 when the disciples were trying to cast out a demon and they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You remember that passage?
Yep.
And then they brought the person to Jesus, and Jesus got rid of the evil spirit. And they were like, why couldn't we do it?
Yeah.
And his response was, this one had to be done by prayer.
Prayer and fasting, right?
And fasting. And so I went and I read that passage, contacted some friends, had them praying. One of them was on her way from her home across the state, and she pulled over in a parking lot and she called me and she prayed over me. And when she was done with that prayer, it all just settled in my heart. Now, I was still tentative. I still knew that there was a battle ahead for the day. I also knew that the Lord was at work.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see how he was using the saints to cover that situation. And so then the next day or 2 days later, it was opening night.
Opening night, yeah.
It was opening night. And I was in the word in Psalm 28. And then also, hold on, I got to find this because this is so good. Second Corinthians. And 2 Corinthians 4, I love that passage anyway. The one that talks about, we are crushed on every side, but not
okay, yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about. So anyway, but 2 Corinthians 4, this is what it says in verses 10 and 11. He has delivered us from such a deadly peril. Now, Paul's talking about his own stuff, right? And he will deliver us. On him we have set our hope, okay, which is what he was working in my life the whole week, setting my hope on him, that he will continue to deliver us as you, now he's talking to the Corinthians, as you help us by your prayers. I just went, won't you do it? Won't you do it? Then many will give thanks on our behalf for the gracious favor granted us in answer to the prayers of many. And it wasn't a ton of people, but it was the group that I felt like he was saying, reach out to these folks. And when I saw this, after all that was over, and I saw this, I was just like, Lord, wow.
Yeah.
Look at you work.
Yeah. And the consistency of message that, you're feeling in your spirit, and then the word saying, that's what I was talking about. That's what, that little whisper in your, look, it's right there in black and white too.
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I thought, Lord, how far you have brought me in my relationship with you to, one, know to turn to you first and not just try to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
Or call a friend and just say, blah, 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 and not stop for a minute and say, what do you want me to do? And then hear him direct and then obey. So then if he says, reach out to friends, do it, but don't start there. But man, that 2 Corinthians passage just tied it all up in this nice little bow. And I was amazed.
And you love that.
I do love
nice
bows.
Little bows.
I do. If I could wear hair bows and it would be appropriate, I would. I love them. It just makes you understand that the Lord will work.
Yeah.
If we will trust him. And unfortunately, sometimes that means wait. And that is very difficult
Waiting is
for
hard.
Human people. I don't like waiting.
No, I don't. I think that's one of the hardest things that God sometimes asks us to do. Because when we're in pain, when we have anxiety, when we're worried about something, we want it fixed.
Now.
And we want it fixed yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And, generally the message that we get from culture is it can be fixed yesterday. Sure. You can drive through and get whatever. You can throw it in the microwave and eat real fast. You can take a pill and not have to do the hard work of diet and exercise or whatever these things are. Yes. And I'm not knocking any of those things.
I know you're not.
But culture is often saying, no, you deserve it and you deserve it ASAP. And very often God's like, no, not in my economy.
That's so true.
You're gonna wait because I'm gonna teach you something in the waiting.
Pages.
And man, does that
pages. And that's just last week.
Pages written in the way. Oh, wow.
One day I
were
wrote
busy.
7 pages. One day I wrote 7 pages, and I'm like, I have never in my life read 7 pages of anything. There was just so much that he was walking me through. And in order to walk through it, I had to get it out. Mm-hmm. And the only way I knew, like I could verbalize it to him, but the only way I really knew to release it was to get it on pages so that I didn't lose track of anything, that I was working through with him every little angst that I had because I had so many.
Yeah.
And so many details about between mom and the show and not wanting to let your fellow cast members down, but feeling so inadequate to be on that stage. And then to come to closing night of the show and get to see mom and see what the Lord did over those last several days. I mean, I have nothing but thanksgiving and praise.
Yeah. Well, the show was awesome.
Thank
it was
you.
so fun.
Thank you.
And you crushed it. But all right,
Sorry,
probably
you need to tell.
That was nice.
Yeah. Sorry,
right.
I didn't mean to snort, but I was thinking about the show.
So if you had not picked up on any of this in any previous podcast, it's Steel Magnolias was the show, and you played Truvy.
Yes.
Which is the Dolly Parton character, if you've seen the movie. But I heard that you did not watch Steel Magnolias before that because you didn't want Dolly in your head.
No,
which I think was a good decision.
Oh, yes. I saw it years ago when it first came out.
Yeah.
I did not. I thought the biggest mistake I could make was trying to imitate Dolly while Dolly was playing Truvy.
Right.
Dolly's an icon. Unless you are an impersonator of Dolly Parton, I wouldn't touch that.
That was a wise decision.
I just wanted to play not Dolly. I wanted to play Truvy the way the Lord wanted Don Ray to play Truvy. And that was my prayer the whole time. But listen, dude, like Truvy, okay, my best friend from high school, college, matron of honor, she came to the dress rehearsal. And she said, I'm seeing a lot of where we grew up and my character then.
Yeah.
In that character. And I said, well, I did have to kind of go back to high school and college to pull, but I am so far different from that person now because of the Lord.
Right.
I struggled.
And I knew that. So I'm sitting in the audience cracking up because, I'm like, oh, she is definitely acting because that's not nature and character and all that anymore.
No. And I said to the director, who's a friend, I said, when my friends are in this audience, they're going to be like, huh? What? And which is good.
Yeah.
I hope. And her husband, same thing. They have listened to our radio show. They listened to our podcast. And he gave me the compliment you just did. And he said, she must have some acting chops because I know her and her character. And that is not what. Now, she wasn't super trashy.
Right.
But she said things that I would not say. And it wasn't cursing or anything like that. But it's just humorous to that.
It's a different worldview.
It's a different worldview. And it's one that I have to say I had when I was a teenager and in my 20s until the Lord started reforming my character and having me look to him instead of my own thoughts and ideology. But dude, once I finally kind of worked out with him the whole thing without compromise, I just wanted to give him glory even through that situation.
Yeah.
And he did the work. Even there, he did it. So I could be sassy little Truvy and still
and
feel
you were
like
sassy.
With lots of makeup.
You looked like you were having fun. Oh, there was a lot of makeup. Like the big, dark, bold, multicolored 80s makeup. It almost looked like you had gone through the Tammy Faye School of Beauty before stepping on the stage.
Yeah. 80s makeup, but theater style. Which
is even bigger and bolder. Yeah.
But I want you to know, there was two different situations where young people saw my face and especially my eyeshadow, and they were like, we love your eyeshadow. And I'm like, this is how we wore it in the 80s. It's hilarious. I was showing Mom pictures.
Yeah.
Speaking of cracking me up, I was showing Mom pictures from the show. And I said, she goes, your face. I said, I know. I said, that's a lot of makeup. She goes, and wrinkles.
Oh, wow. Mom's throwing shade.
I told you she was cracking me up. Oh, my word. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks for joining us for the Dawn and Steve Plus podcast. We're a listener-supported, non-profit podcast, and we're grateful for your generous support. You can give at dawnandsteveplus.com. Our producer is yours truly, Stephen Briggs, with assistance from Chris Westmoreland. Please like and subscribe to Dawn and Steve Plus anywhere you get your podcasts and on all our socials. Links to what we talk about and to Raphael's Roastery are in the show notes below. Thanks for joining us and being our plus one.